Hello everybody, I am Fuzzyface and welcome back to my channel. Today we're trying something a little bit different. If you are a subscriber of mine, if you've seen any of my previous videos, you'll know that I usually play Motorsport Manager. We're keeping things under the Sega banner today, this time with Sports Interactive's Football Manager 2017. I am an avid fan of the Football Manager series, should I say. I've been playing it back since the Championship Manager series. How long ago? It must be 20 years or so. Ever since it first came out, I remember playing it, the the base game of that about 20 years ago. I had actually decided to skip the 2017 version just to have a year's break from it, and I was enjoying the 2016 version of it. But it was on sale in the Steam sale that's been going on at the moment, so I decided to take a punt on it, play it, make videos on it. I've not actually played much with this version of the game this time round so much. I've only played the actual pre-season of what's actually happened in this game, so if there's anything new, I'm still learning a little bit. I've managed to update all the graphics and stuff. I think this is the Vita pack. I think that's what it is. We've got all the stadium packs, we've got the city packs, we've got the picture packs. We've changed the pitches as well, and we've actually got the Premier League ball. So whether it doesn't actually show up too much in the actual match, but you can notice it if you are actually looking for it. But anyway, let's get on with this. We are with the Mighty Bantams. Bradford City are actually my hometown club. I am from Yorkshire, I am from Bradford. Bradford are my hometown club. So when I jump into any new version of Football Manager, I always do start with Bradford City just to get myself accustomed, acclimatized to the game, with players I know, with tactics I know. So that's what we're doing here. We're going to have a nice little save here. Hopefully we can go about 5 years, maybe more, depending on when the 2018 game comes out and when we want to move over to the 2018 game, when they get all the bugs ironed out, as is often the case with the early release of Football Manager. There's often a lot of bugs that make the game not as enjoyable in the first month or two of its release. Anyway, as I was saying, Bradford are my hometown club. We've got Roman Vancelot as the captain. Kilgallen is the vice captain, although he's possibly not going to be playing much this season. I should have possibly changed him. Alex Jones is actually in the first team. He is a striker. He's 21 years old at the moment. He has only just joined us. He joined partway into the season, did he? I can't remember. But anyway, as you know, we start the season with how the team pretty much was after January at the moment. So we do have, if you know Bradford City, we do have Charlie Wyke in here, who we signed from Carlisle in the January transfer window for a cool £250,000. He obviously came in after James Hansen went to Sheffield United. Charlie Wyke, a little bit more prolific than James Hansen, it should be said. So hopefully he can get a few more goals for us early on in the season here. We do have a £25,000 capacity at Valley Parade down on Midland Road. I think we've sold 15,500 season tickets this season so far. Finance wise, we've got just over £1 million in the bank. We don't have any room to move all with the transfer budget, wage budget as well. We're pretty much at the limit, possibly enough room for one player we can possibly get. Tactics, meanwhile, I do like possession tactics even in the lower leagues. It is called a 4-2-3-1 wide. That is a base tactic that it was based on, but we do play with 2 deep lying playmakers just to make sure there's no gaps in midfield, just because we got our fullbacks going a little bit further forward. We do have wingers, we have an attacking midfielder in Clark. We do try and retain possession play out of defence. Tempo is a little bit lower. We're going to try to slow things down. We might push that up to that later on in the season or after a couple of games if this one isn't quite working. And then we do have this 4-2-3-1 shorter, which is called shorter because we play it even shorter than the other one and we work the ball into the box. So it is pretty much the same. Can be used later on in the games to sort of try and kill games. I did use this in pre-season. We didn't have actually the best of pre-seasons. We drew with Bradford Park Avenue. We played pretty much a second team. The only loss was to Aston Villa in a game that we pretty much dominated at one point. If we just have a quick look at the match stats, we did have 58% possession, but that's after we changed tactics and brought a few of the reserve players into the team. We were up to 68% with the first team. As you can see, 738 passes to 489. It was working quite well. Shots pretty much even against the far superior team. So that was done with the shorter tactic. We used the shorter tactic pretty much exclusively for that match. Yeah, and the last tactic is it's called a 4-2-4 wide, which is what the basis was. Actually changed the name of it. Yeah, it's more of a traditional 4-4-2, but with the wingers pushing a little bit further forward. We have a target man, which would be Wyke if we're in this position. Maybe Clark as the attacking forward, or we've got Alex Jones as well to play the attacking forward. Charlie Wyke is his best position is actually as a target man. If we look there, he goes to a 3-star rating. Is 2.5 with this tactic, but the 4-2-3-1 wide is a tactic we're possibly going to be using the most often in this game. We are really short on depth at the moment. As you can see, we've been hit by an injury bug. Rory McArdle started the game with an injury. I think he's the only one that, yeah, he's the only one that started the game with an injury. And Stephen Darby as well, he's returning, but obviously Tony McMahon is the right back at the moment. Stephen Darby is possibly the better right back defensively, but Tony McMahon offers us a lot more options. He's the best corner taker in the team, he's the best free kick taker in the team, so that is the reason why he gets the full back position over Stephen Darby. Alex Gilead is a left winger. He got injured pretty early on, and the depth for left wing was pretty appalling as well. So I only actually made 2 signings. We've got Chris Willock on loan from Arsenal. He's pretty pacey. He's rated better than all of the other attacking midfielders. We don't actually have Alex Gilead isn't even rated here. These are actually left wingers. Billy Clark is our attacking midfielder. Nicky Law is more of a central midfielder, although he can play attacking midfielder. He can play on the left. I think he can play on the right as well. But Chris Willock is pretty decent. He's been really pretty much dominant in pre-season. He's had a really good pre-season. And the other signing was Mitchell Beanie, who was brought in because Colin Doyle got injured. Colin Doyle is out for 10 weeks, so we brought Mitchell Beanie in. He has been injured now. He's out for 4 weeks. Sattelmeyer and Beanie are rated about the same. Beanie had been better in pre-season, but he was going to get the start in this game, but he got injured just before the Park Avenue game, I think, in training. So Sattelmeyer is back into the team, and Joe Cracknell, out of the under-23s, comes into the bench. Other than that, as we discussed, we've got Tony McMahon. We know why he's there. Romain Vancelor, our captain, the heart of the centre of defence. He is actually a central midfielder, but because of the tactics, we've drawn him back into a central defensive position. He's just as adept at playing central defender. We've got the goalkeeper set to play it short, so most of the play should go through Vancelor. Knight Percival as well is also pretty good on the ball. He's a little bit quicker than Kilgallen. Kilgallen's possibly a little bit better defensively. He's an old hand. He's 32 at the moment. Knight Percival's pretty old as well. He's getting on there, 29, but he's a little bit quicker. And because we do play a high line and we do try and get the ball back, we do want a little bit more pace at the back so we don't get caught out. James Meredith, meanwhile, is pretty decent at getting forward. He's pretty pacey. His crossing is not actually the best in this game, and his crossing is not actually the best in real life. Nicky Law is the defensive one. He's not really actually defensive. We could actually... This would be the position occupied by Romain Vancelor usually. And what we want. Nicky Law is not the best at tackling, so... And he's getting... This is the position where we could do with some backup. We do have Timothy Dieng, who is a good sort of more hard tackling central midfielder. He's more of a defensive midfielder, so but he's not really good enough to start. Although it does say in this it's 3 stars, but as we can see, Cullen and Law are really highly rated in this game at 4 stars in the centre of midfield. Timothy Dieng is good at coming on late on into the game if we're like just scraping by. If we're like 1-0 up, he would be brought on to sort of shore up the centre of the field. Cullen, meanwhile, who is on loan from West Ham, is an absolutely brilliant passer in real life. He's an absolute joy to behold watching. His passing's not rated too highly here. I possibly would have had him a 14, but can't wish for everything. He's going to be a little bit further forward than Law. We might, at some point, turn him into an advanced playmaker, just if we want to open the game up a bit more. If we seem to be struggling, not creating enough chances, he would be turned into an advanced playmaker, but that would leave us a little bit liable at the back. So Mark Marshall, meanwhile, on the right wing, is our best. He's pretty speedy. I haven't actually looked at his stats. It's not too bad. His crossing's actually pretty good for this game. just like James Meredith. He's quick, but his final delivery is not quite the best. And then we do have Billy Clark, who's just actually left the club after this season. It is pretty decent. He is pretty hit and miss, but his stats are pretty good in this game for what we want out of him. Decisions not quite the best, but hopefully he can get to work in here with Charlie Wyke, and we've already gone through Chris Willock. Charlie Wyke is pretty much good all round. He's lanky, he's pretty strong, he's good at heading. His finishing's not the best here, but I guess it's pretty decent. He was having a good season with Carlisle before we signed him. He got 12 in 34 out of League 2 the season before. I'm pretty disappointed by his stats actually, Charlie Wyke. I thought he would be a little bit higher rated because, as this game says, Jordi Huula is a little bit higher rated. Jordi Huula does have more pace, so he might be coming in. His finishing is not the best, his touch is not the best, but he might work a little bit better with his tactic when he's fit, so possibly will be rotating the 2 strikers. And on the bench at the moment we just do not have any sort of depth at all. So yeah, so we've got Port Vale, and then we'll be doing the Blackpool game next, and I'll possibly film the Peterborough and NK Dons game. I might just stick to the home games with how we run this, just so we can get going with this series and we can move on pretty quickly and get to a decent enough point with enough number of seasons under our belt before we have to move on, or when the 2018 game comes out, as I said. But if you would prefer to see the away games, I am open to suggestions. If you do really want to see the away games as well, I would be willing to film those. Obviously it's going to take a lot longer to complete a season, but we would be willing to do it. We've got the team selection already done. Port Vale play a 4-4-2. They sometimes do play a 4-3-2-1 narrow. I'm guessing Hooper's going to be the main threat here. I'm guessing he's pretty pacey up front, so we might need to mark him pretty tightly during the game. So team selection here, we've already done the team selection, so let's submit our team. Meredith, who was also injured as well, so we're pretty lacking at left back as well. He's only just returned. He got 30 minutes at Port Vale, not Port Vale, at Bradford Park Avenue. So he's pretty behind the rest of the team as regards to fitness. But here we go. Both teams are fairly evenly matched, and I think this will be a draw. Colin Doyle and Remy Street will be both be missed by their respective sides. So we are evens. Port Vale on 11-5. Personally, I think this game has got draw written all over it as we get used to our new tactics, and we got the Bradford City key man, Josh Cullen, the box-to-box midfielder. Maybe we can switch him to a box-to-box midfielder as well with this tactic, because that would work. It would not leave us open defensively, and it possibly give us a few more options in attack. So maybe we can think about doing box-to-box midfielder. You're about to take charge of your first match as Bradford City manager. Can you share your feelings? It's a special day. How much of a boost is Sebastian Amoros's absence to your chances of winning? I think it's unfair to single out individuals, and we've left Timothy Dieng out because he was injured as well. Somehow we've managed to scrape a squad together for this first game of the season. He won't be starting anyway. He's just being rested. And we could make a real statement. I hope so. Yeah, we'll go out. We'll see the initiative. So there we go. We've got Forrester and Hooper up front. So they are playing a 4-4-2. Fogle is a little bit deeper, so I'm guessing he's a deep line. Then we've got a normal central, or he's the central midfielder defensive. And the fullbacks are playing pretty defensively as well, because they're behind the central defenders here. And Grandals is on the attack, it looks like. I forgot to actually set this in the tactics. We usually always close down with that if I use a possession tactic, because we do want to win the ball back. We do not want to give them any space at all. And Sam Foley is actually injured as well at the moment, so that could be a boost for us. We usually do tackle hard in midfield and the wide players onto their weaker feet. That's what I usually always do. And Hooper, we might go. The defense. Our defence is pretty speedy, so we can possibly tight mark him and keep with him. Yeah, right. So overall, team talk, we've got assertive. We want to just go out and relax. Because we're playing possession football, we just want these players nice and relaxed for this game. So let's hope we can get something out of this. Do want these dialed back here for for the match. We just asked Black to do the individual team talks. Expect a performance from Nicky Law and from Romain Vanceler. Right, so let's get started with this match. Here we go. We've already got the injured symbol there, so let's hope we can do pretty decently in this match. Hopefully we can play some nice possession football. Hopefully we can create some chances. Hopefully we can get White and Clark involved in the game. Hopefully Willock continues his form from pre-season. He's, I think he didn't play against Park Avenue, but he played all the other games and had a lot of influence on those games. He scored 2 in the win over Guiseley. Him and Mark Marshall connecting from either wing and putting balls into each other and getting on the back post. So hopefully that works with this tactic here. Early in from Marshall there. White gets a shot in, deflected out for a throw-in. 3 minutes, 4 minutes here. And Port Vale actually winning possession here, but they haven't had a shot on goal, evening up. We've had 3. McMahon, free kick just outside the box, off the wall and out for a corner, which means McMahon will trot out wide to take the corner. He'll usually be taking every set piece for us, so McMahon whips the ball in, cleared away, no one outside the box. Charlie White wasn't even in the box then. I'm sure I've got him set to be inside the box. I'm not going to adjust it now, and out to White. Oh, just wide. Come on, City. Come on, City. Like, come on, you yellows. Right, so we're getting the possession back under control. 5 shots, Port Vale really struggling to get anything off here. It looks like we're behind on passes as well, so it's not quite. And McMahon hits a wall again. We don't really have any other free kick takers in the team apart from Josh Cullen. And I say that, and then we actually get Marshall. I'm guessing that's because it's out wide. Marshall whips it in. Faison comes out, collects the ball. So I'm guessing Port Vale have not had a shot still yet. I'm guessing it's going to be one of those games where we have a million shots on goal. Port Vale burst forward, have 1 shot and score. Vanceler's got a yellow card, but he's been an absolute rock in defence here, it looks like. Clark gets a ball on the edge of the box. Cullen, meanwhile, into Willock. There's a lot of back to goal play here. I guess that's the way we set up. Maybe we could be a little bit more direct if we can't open anything up if we're about 60 minutes in. But Wyke isn't the fastest, so we do sort of want him to be holding that ball up. He's best as a target man. He's sort of playing that way as he advances forward at the moment. Willock keeps the ball cleared away, but not far. It's just McMahon on the other flank. So a lot of this play should come between Cullen and Law, who should be getting balls in like that to Marshall. Back to Clark, and that's a save from Faison. So we are doing pretty well here. What have we got? We're just on extended at the moment. Do we want comprehensive? Let's go comprehensive for the rest of the match. If you'd like to see different in the comments, comprehensive or extended, I'm open either way. If you want the matches to be a little shorter, we will do extended. I do usually prefer comprehensive, and that's smacked away by Vanceler there. Is that gone for a corner? No, it's just a throw-in. Is this going to be Port Vale's first shot on target? It's out to Sam Foley. The whipping Meredith gets it away. It's out for another throw-in here. And Hooper doesn't do anything. Tight marking working on Hooper here. They've just had 1 shot on target so far to hour 8. We've not had a clear-cut chance yet, but the possession's more in our favour now. I think that was at 59%, it said. The possession was in our favour. And here we go. Hooper gets through the back, but doesn't connect, shall we say, with the ball, and it goes wide. Right, so hopefully we can open something up here. Playing nice football on the ground. It comes out. Cullen gets a shot away over the bar. Oh, we are playing nice football. 188 passes to 201 to 168 now. So things starting to go in the way that we want it to. Seemingly rock steady in defence, Vanceler and Knight Percival. So hopefully this is going to be a good sign going forward, and that it's going to be hard for a lot of teams to get any sort of option against us. It would be nice to see against another team that's doing the same 4-2-3-1 that we're doing. A lot of teams do seem to play that way these days, especially in this game. It seems to be a lot more prevalent going through what the teams were doing. And that's a shot there. Who was that? Who was that? Cullen getting a shot off there from outside the box. Flat tap sort of by the keeper, just fumbles it away. And Willock gets a little bit of space out to Cullen again. Just keeping the ball, just and Port Vale get it. Can Port Vale break now? There's a little Vansalo again. Breaks up the attack. And Charlie Wyke offside now. So we're doing brilliant. If we look at the attack, if we look at the stats there, we've had 11 shots today too. We're really restricting Port Vale in all areas of the field. Next time it comes up, and a cross there from McMahon deflected out for another corner. I don't know how many corners we've had overall. Should we put the how do we put the things up? Match stats. I don't want match overview. I'll keep that up there, so just so we know how we're doing whilst this is going up. And Knight Percival gets it, saved by the keeper, and then off the line. Advancing a little foul, so it'll be another shot. So we've had 5 corners to their 0, 12 shots on target, 60% possession, 232 passes. McMahon into the box and away once again. So we've not had any clear-cut chances, but we've had a couple on target that have been pretty decent. The keeper's saved them twice now. It doesn't really mess up there, does it? So yeah, we'll keep that stat box up in the corner. Vansalo again at the heart of defence. Most things going through him at the start. So loss to Cullen. I think we're doing really good at keeping the ball. We're not actually rated the best as a passing team, but we're doing pretty alright with it. And Clark, and just wide. Keeper didn't get a touch there. I thought the keeper got a touch. He obviously didn't. So we're playing really well at the moment. Just struggling to find that goal, which is the story of Bradford City's season last season as well. Dominant in possession, but just not able to open teams up. But we're doing a pretty good job of opening Port Vale up here. It's just not going our way when we're getting through. And then we got Hooper tries to play it through. Vansalo missteps, and oof. It's going to be one of those games where Port Vale just snatch it at some point, isn't it? We'll dominate the whole game and Port Vale will score late on in the second half. But there we go, first half in the books. Still 0-0. Everyone's seemingly playing alright at the moment. We're the favourites here, so we need to remind the players not to let the fans down. Assertive. If we keep playing the way we have been, the result will come now. Everyone extremely delighted by that, so hopefully that makes a difference here going into the second half. Don't need to think about changing things too much, because hopefully this one goal will come. That's all we need at the moment whilst we still try and get used to this tactic. We're not overly familiar with this, only about 40% comfortable with this tactic at the moment. Obviously the Armour, whip ball in there from Marshall, Faison and catches it. They are more comfortable with the 4-4-2 tactic. Guessing that's what Bradford City's tactic is set up from last season with James Hansen in the team. It usually was a 4-4-2, a little bit more long ball up to James Hansen under Phil Parkinson, but under Stuart McCall we're a little bit more possession based. It's been nice to see over the last season, a little bit more of a possession based team. McMahon now gets the ball, whips it in, knocks, and it goes for another corner now. So this should be our, is that going to be the 8th? No, that is the 7th corner. McMahon both arms in the air, whips it in. Comes out to Willock. Is he going to try to get a shot? And Willock does, and it goes over the bar again. Oh, come on. We can nab a goal here. We shouldn't even be needing to nab a goal. We should be like 2-0 up, 3-0 up. Had a couple of good chances, a couple of good headers, some good saves from Faison has kept us out. Willock, meanwhile, seems to be really good at the moment. He seems to be a player that hopefully most of the stuff can go through this season. Maybe we can get him next season as well from Arsenal, depending on what we do this season. But we're looking really strong from our whole position as a team, in that we can just sort of build and not be in trouble defensively. Whether that's going to be the case when we get to a few of the stronger teams in this league, if we're like we get towards the teams like Sheffield United, whether we can sort of play this way against them. Maybe we need to go for the shorter tactic. And Tavares a foul on Cullen. Cullen actually taking a free kick this time. What can he do? Short run up into the wall as well. Come on. Come on. Got to get something out of this game. Man. This time and over again. Come on. Come on. Right, so McMahon now. Back to Law. And Port Vale are going to break now. Is this going to be? This is going to be it, isn't it? My worst fear come true. Hooper gets it. And he skies it as well. Much like the story of this match. Another ball sailing over. Port Vale seemingly getting a little bit back into the game now. Maybe we should start thinking about making a substitution. A Hooper down. It's not a penalty. It's a corner. I saw the referee pointing. It looked like he was pointing to the spot then. It usually flashes up a little bit quicker if it's going to be a penalty. And my heart's skipping a beat every time Port Vale go forward. I know they're going to nab it. I know they're going to nab it at the death somehow. And we've got a chance to break now. No, doesn't work out. Shadipo back to Tavares. Port Vale are really starting to come back into this at the moment. And Hooper's through. And Hooper scores. Oh, how did I know that was going to happen? Right, attacking. We have to change a few things here. Just a walk. That was Knight Percival stepping out. Hooper gets in behind him. He's supposed to be marking him tightly. Right, so we're going to go a little bit more direct. We're going to speed up the tempo a little bit. We're still going to try to play out of defence. It's been working. There's not much we can do. Substitution-wise, there's not. White's not been having the best game, but he's looking motivated at the moment. Alex Jones can come on. Marshall's looking nervous, so maybe we should get him off. Alex Jones coming on, his morale's a little bit better. But that's all we can do. We don't really have much attacking options on the bench. We Wooler out and Gilead out. There's not much that we can do. That's about it. That's all we can do. Bring Alex Jones on. Knew we were going to lose this game. And Port Vale coming at it again now. And Meredith. Jesus. Come on. We're just allowing Port Vale back into this game now. I don't even think we've got another right winger, have we? Although Billy Clark can go out onto another left winger, should I say? Was it left wing that we took? No, right winger. But I'm guessing we can put Billy Clark out there. We can go 4-4-2 if we seemingly aren't getting anything out of this game by that point. Try change up the tactic, as Port Vale should be sitting back a little bit more now. Try to hold on to this lead. Billy Clark flips it out wide to Meredith. Is he going to get it in? A decent ball this time? No. Jones gets it across. No. Straight back across the goal. Here comes Hooper again. Knew Hooper was going to be problems for us. And Walker. The whip ball can't do anything but head it. I don't think... And... Come on, Vansel, get that ball back. Gets it into the box. Hooper again, out, and Grandons, and that's another goal for Port Vale. Oh, jeez. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Right. We'll go for the 4-2-4. Gonna have to. Have to try. Just pump this ball forward now. Willock tries to get a shot away. Come on. Need to change the lineup about as well. Right there. Tactics. Where tactics? Where tactics? Right, so Willock's out left, so Clark is going to go there. Jones is coming back, and then White's going to go into the target man. Can they swap? We'll go that way. Confirm these changes, get back to the pitch view. And we're going to go attacking as well. And White gets a header away. Immediately we get a header on target. 20 shots to 6, just not able to get a... I just knew that was going to happen where Port Vale would just get it late on. I really don't want to play 4-4-2 in this game, but we're not. If we can't get the passing game going, then it might be something we have to do in future games. But hopefully we can get used to this tactic a little bit more. As we can see, there's not much we can do. We can throw Timothy Dieng on, but that's not going to do anything. Like, whoop-de-doo. Like, whoop-de-shadipo. Right, come on, McMahon. We can get something out of this game at least. At least get one goal. Show that the 4-4-2 works at least. Long ball into the box. Is that 3-0? Wouldn't surprise me if we went 3-0 down. I feel the depression in my voice, can't you? Absolutely brilliant start to the season. To Charlie White, who doesn't even jump for the ball. Cullen puts it in. White gets it in, but Alex Jones had wandered into an offside position anyway. Hooper gets the ball now. Is he going to play it through? Oh, come on, that's better. It's more like it. That's how we started the game. Jones gets it, but then trips over his own feet. Oh, got tripped a little bit. He stumbled. 2 minutes overtime. And this is going to be the end of the game. So, a loss in a game we pretty much dominated. I just knew it's the way Football Manager always works. We dominate the game. The opposition comes back and scores a goal pretty late on. I'm not too happy. I'm not too happy. I'm not too sad. We're still trying to get used to the tactics. Don't look back and worry. Try and just keep everyone happy as we lose a couple of games. So there we go, Hooper. Man of the match. I knew he would be. We tried to take him out of the game by marking him. It didn't quite work. He got that first goal. Matt Grandal's got the second goal. Shoddy performance there. So hopefully we can get somewhere out of the Blackpool game. Hopefully we can get past the first round. Obviously you don't like seeing your side concede goals, but surely you admit, yeah, it was a pretty decent goal. Your team suffered what must go down as a disappointing defeat to Port Vale. What was your reaction? I know things look bad, but we played quite well. We did. Not the start you must have had in mind. I can't hide my disappointment. It's not just the fact we'd lost, but the man. It's upsetting, and the players are feeling it. You have to keep things in perspective. It's disappointing to lose, but we played quite well. It is only one game. Was it unfortunate to come up against JJ Hooper? Yeah, I just knew that he was going to have a good game. I thought he played well. Yeah, just stand up and applaud. Skybet League 1 kicks off Millwall 1-0. We've got Wimbledon top of the table at the moment. Aidan O'Brien had a bad day at Millwall. Millwall drew. Yeah, so that's it for the first episode of this new series of Football Manager. A loss. Hopefully that's not going to be the case going forward. Hopefully we can keep it. Fingers crossed. Are we bottom of the table? No, 23rd. Thankfully Walsall had a worse day than us. Not the best way to kick things off. Hopefully once we get used to the tactic a little bit more. Performance. Well, we can't really say we had a bad performance, but hopefully the results will start to pick up with us. We dominated Port Vale. We just couldn't find an opening. Hopefully we can get that going in future games. We are struggling for depth. Hopefully when Jordi Hawula comes back, we've got more options going forward. We've got the strength and sort of the more rough and toughness of Wyke, and then we've got Hawula who can play fast and make. We can go a little bit. We can up the tempo a little bit with Hawula in the team. But until that point, we're just struggling for depth. We don't have a lot of options coming off the bench unless we're trying to keep hold of a lead. If we go down, we don't have a lot of attacking options to bring on. Maybe we can try and think about another short-term another short-term loan. Maybe we'll have a look at that in the next episode. But anyway, if you're an old subscriber of mine of the Watch the Motorsport Manager, you've travelled over to the Football Manager, thank you for watching this one as well. If you're a new viewer, welcome. Consider hitting that subscribe button down below if you want to see more of this Bradford City save. Thumbs up if you like this video. I know we lost, but unfortunate, we did dominate. And leave a comment down below with any suggestions, what you'd like to see, whether you want to see any other parts of the game, whether you do want me to play the away matches, as it's something I'm going to think about skipping after we've played the first few. We do have 2 away matches coming up after the cup game. But anyway, that's it for this episode. It's been a pleasure, and goodbye.